All right, happy Saturday. We are trying to take advantage of some windows of weather. It's starting to rain here in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm trying to one hand do some stuff, multitask, and talk to y'all, and I'm failing. So, I was gonna take you through sort of how I shoot windows in the weather, keeping myself active, exercising Coop, and keeping dry in the van, trying to manage just keeping dry and whatnot, because I've got clothes from the gym last night that are sweaty. My gear will be a little damp and muddy from my bike ride. When I hang out with Coop, he typically gets his feet wet, at least if we're outside roaming around and it's raining. It's not too hard. We can find some places to go where it's covered, but we'll likely still get pretty wet dog smell. So, I was going to take you through some of that. I am up in northern Washington, as always. I'm going to go explore some trail and see how it is. And from there, we'll circle back, show you what he and I get into the rest of the weekend, and we will likely do just some basic van upkeeping, try to do some cooking and get some clean eating going for the weekend, and of course, catch up on some rest. I would love it if you would subscribe, share, and like this video. Let somebody know how I'm doing van life if they are on their own vehicle dwelling journey. I will circle back as I'm trying to get ready to ride. This is sort of a loud parking lot. I'm surprised we're not hearing more noise like weed-eating lawnmowers and barking dogs, but we'll definitely try to give you guys as much of a visual as I can while I'm not only just biking and doing the fun stuff, but also just the basic day-to-day in the gym and whatnot. That is a Baja blanket that I found. Oh, I think that was sent to me from friends, but typically I use these things because they're like 2 for $10 at a gas station, and I love those because it can at least keep his bed from getting super nasty and doggy after this amount of rain. So I put stuff like that down just to absorb a little moisture, hopefully the stink, so I can also launder that real easily. All right. It's cool that you can see the sun peeking through just like I am. We're gonna get a window and it looks pretty fun. It's damp out here and you can see all the needles that have fallen in this area. The rain was pretty substantial to bring all this down, and this is not too bad. Plenty of branches and big leaves, as I've seen throughout other parts of the trail. This is an ascension trail to get up to the fun stuff, and although amazing, I'm just getting the rust off and definitely got the breathing going, so bear with me. It's hard to keep a convo going, but trying to make sure I still got the skills. So I'm gonna keep seeing how the legs and back feel as to whether I'm feeling froggy and want to do anything wild, but I'll try to capture a little bit of it because today is definitely making me pretty stoked at this point, just seeing a little sunshine after so many days of rain. But boy, it sure is tacky, and these trails were beautifully made for tolerating water and lots of it. So bear with me if it's not Red Bull Rampage, as there's a good chance I may not be getting tons of air, which to me is fine. Let's see if we got any views today. Woo! Still some clouds, open air, and ultimately looks pretty good. Oh yeah. Well, before I get back in the trees in the green tunnel, this is Daniel signing off. Thanks for checking out my stuff and appreciate you supporting the channel. You'll either see me on the ground here in a little bit or descending something quickly. Here to just do some very friendly jumps before I take on any more trails. Looks like they've drained pretty well. Feeling okay, although it has been a while. Woo! Yeah, and the traction's good, so that's friendly. Oh man, traction, Woo! Hope the view's good. Whoa! Oh man, so I didn't lose it all. All right, round two, trying to get some better angles. Oh man, a bug just flew in my helmet. Hasn't stung me yet. Whew. Gosh, I hope it's not gonna sting me. All right, just had a breakthrough moment climbing a hill that the area locals call the wall. And after having ascended the wall, I thought it just an epic way to describe this because my body was really taking a toll. I was just thinking, man, I'm fatigued. Well, I better play it safe. After I get to the top, we'll take one of the shorter routes down and not risk any injury. Sure, that's the easy way out. And then I started thinking, man, I really want this to be a mind over body example. I don't want to just give in. It's easy to, and then my easy thought was, don't make decisions in the middle of a hill, Daniel. Step up. It is not that bad. Get to the top, rethink about it. And as I'm cresting the hill, I was like, oh dude, you got this. But if I frame it like this, all right, Dan, let's get to the top and imagine that you're going to tell a much better story to the people in your audience about how you maximize more time for yourself doing the things you care about, getting completely stoked like cycling, than if I say, oh, I'm real conservative, want to take it easy, and I took the quick way down, only did an 8-mile ride, don't want to risk an injury just for more scars like that. No, this is going to be a far better story. You'll get to see more of the mountain, the features, and this dirt quality. And then, of course, I'll have a lot better stuff to show you in the aftermath. So, sucked it up, and there you go. Mind over body every time. And get out there and enjoy yourself. Do what it takes to get stoked. Plus, if I would have called it early, I would have been kicking myself for giving up too easily. It's so dark here, I just thought it was worth showing y'all how dark and thick this forest can get. This is also a lot damper trail, meaning a bit slicker, definitely a little softer too, because it's not getting good aeration. I'm already noticing that here on the climb. Anyways, we're almost to the top of my descents, and then I'll show you a couple things on the way down. Oh, rubber side down. Alright folks, I sort of feel like a fraud because it's really nice out. I said rain, but boy, it sure doesn't look like rain. So, the trails are pretty wet. I definitely got a bit of a mud trail on my butt and my bag. Is it on my face too much? Looks like the camera's not even gonna focus. I obviously am not tech savvy enough to get that shit to work. Oh man, it's a really pretty golden out here. I want you to go meet, buddy. It's a little older than you, but it was some kind of good. And boy, was it amazing. All right, so it will focus, but I guess I was backlit. Now, I need to get this camera to see how the butt looks. How is it? It's really not bad at all. It's normally wet, damp, and covered with brown dots from the back wheel spitting it up on you, but who's ready to murder some thirst? I am so parched. I stayed hydrated, but I still haven't eaten either. I'm about to make a fat sandwich with some deli meat that I just got. Oh, and y'all should check these out. Liquid Deaths. Come on, man. There it is. Liquid Deaths are pretty epic. I like their mission on plastic uses, and if you haven't looked at it, please do. The single-use plastic is another pandemic currently going on that I mean, we're completely oblivious to how horrendous and detrimental it is to the earth. So, oh my gosh, cold water. I always like having it in the van just for post-ride, post-activity, especially in hot weather. Now I'm gonna get my gear up, try to clean up quickly. I'm gonna do a class with Steph this evening. We've been doing some stuff together, just working on ourselves, and I'm stoked about that, to get ready for just a little enjoyment into evening relaxation. I thought I'd be dodging windows of rain. It doesn't look like I'll be doing that, so I'll throw for Coop here in the interim before I start bedding down for the evening, and I'll go to the gym to clean up and maybe just do some mobility work and some light stretching. And just, the gym on a weekend evening is very serene, very nice, and peaceful, just because nobody's there, and I just lay on the floor. Successful ride though, no injuries, very pleased. Met some great people out there, glad that I rode, period. Got dirty, got sweaty, got the exercise in. Mission accomplished. It's amazing. It's packed full. Oh! This gluten-free bagel is really dry. I'm finishing stuff off from Steph's place that she had left over in the fridge. So that's bagels and then like some vegan cream cheese, whatever else. And the gluten-free bagels just have a, I can't describe it, different texture altogether. I don't mind them, but it's different. So refueling, this is first meal of the day and it is 3:45. I normally prefer to bike on an empty stomach. I feel more alert. Insulin feels pretty stable in terms of just like my spikes of energy. And that's just coming off a fast. I tend to operate better, so that's what I stick with. I've been doing that since about 2015. All right, this is a fat sandwich. It's gonna take me a little while, so I don't feel like you need to see the whole thing. But I will circle back. We just threw the Frisbee for Coop. I definitely I'm gonna walk him here in a little bit as well. And again, speak to you a bit on the aspects of how I would stay dry and how I manage it when it does get this wet. I'm assuming we should be seeing clouds and rain roll in tonight per the forecast. And then how I would do that with maintenance of windows open, fan rolling, pulling air out, and use of the heater just to try to get stuff to the dampness to lift and leave the van. Good morning from Vanlife Central here in Washington. Finally, the topic of the weekend, rain and dealing with it in van life, is a bit more present, as you might be able to hear the pitter-patter of rain on the roof. It's been going since yesterday evening. As you can see outside, this is what I anticipated showing you. This is not too bad. It's a little inconsistent and it's not even gotten the sidewalk fully wet. But that's what does change things for us when dealing with it. So, let me put you up here. That didn't go well. It might be better. Okay, so to give you an update, you get to see me do a little bit of housekeeping. Things aren't beautiful right now. I have some things out, but this blanket, this Baja rug, is ready to go down after Coop goes out to pee or restroom and then come back once he's gotten a little damp. That just keeps his bed clean. Things hanging in here. These are my biking pants, my jersey, and just some bike shorts, like a padded chamois from yesterday. Right underneath where the camera's at right now, I've got my towel from the shower last night at the gym. That's where I'm still at. And all this stuff is just hanging and drying. I've got my vent windows over here. I'll move the camera in a second. Those are ventilated and popped open, so rain can't come in, but they're slanted outward, so when it hits the outside, it just skirts to the side. This window slides open, however, it doesn't repel rain, so I'm not using that for ventilation right now. But with these open and the fan on, there in the rear, it's the square in the back at the end of the lights, that is running and it's pulling air through. So my secret for drying things, not a secret, it's my preference, just because if I am wanting, let's say I tried to snake in a ride today or was just really intent on drying things. Let's say moisture was accumulating, I was noticing it, my shades might be a little damp or something, these things weren't drying out, I would want them to dry. Let's say I was getting moisture or something accumulating under the bed, which is something you would want to check in van life. I would keep the vent open, the fan running. Even more so, I might try the fan on as well. I'm sorry, not the fan, the heater. And the heater is a diesel incinerator, so I would turn that on and turn the fan off, but open it so it would then not be pulling the hot air out, but it would allow the hot air to leave, and that really lifts moisture and removes it from the van. There's towel hanging. Coop is still asleep, about ready to head outdoors. And here is a T-vent window. So, I think this view shows it best. When you unscrew it, you then open it up. Airflow is already felt coming right through, going to that fan. Going up here, I will show you the fan. And the setting I would leave it in would be then, let's see here. I would turn it off. Oh man, boy is that a catch-all for bugs and dust. Anyways, once I turn the heater on, I've got the T-vent windows open for general ventilation. I'm not gonna run the heat right now because I'm gonna go into the gym and let Coop stay in here. But if he and I went out for a walk and I was really trying to dry things, I would close all the windows, turn the heater on, and then open this way. So it would have ventilation then. And the hot air can rise and lift through the van and exit. And that has had just consistent good results for, let's say, winter time. If I had snow gear, getting my socks dry for the next day, all the outerwear that's, you know, been in the snow, that works fantastically. I'll show you guys how I put this Baja rug down now once I let him out. You wanna go out, buddy? Yeah? Here we go, man. Oh yeah, it's not raining too bad. Let's go. Ooh. Big stretch, man. I'll get the bugs out. Okay, you ready to go? Come here. Come on. Big man. Yeah. You have permission. Go pee. Alright. So this is the Baja rug I use. Not the first either. So I'll just lay that down and sort of cover his bed. Nothing special here, because that will keep him from making his bed super dirty, from smelling like a rain puddle. Perfect form. Good boy. Let's go home. Good boy. Yeah. Who's a big man? Hey, you good? You want a cookie? Good boy. So with the towel hanging and then the bike gear there, my heater is there under my bench and that seat and the dog treats. That black circle is the output of the fan, and that comes out, that's a diesel incinerator, so it does put hot, dry air out, and that's what does help really dry things. So having the air come out low does tend to put it out towards Coop, towards the dog bed, and then my drying hooks and things like that. I've had great success with that. And I have seen some like no, let's say like no, like what do they call it? No touch, or if they don't get hot, like those little ceramic heaters that you plug in and they don't get warm to the touch, so you're not as concerned about fire.
those are worth a try. They do drain your power a good amount. I've gotten one to try it, and it does drain power quite quickly if you left it on overnight, so that's something to think about. I've got that stored somewhere that's hard to reach because I don't use it a lot. I got it as an option to dry other stuff if I wanted to point that thing directly at stuff, and it does serve a purpose, but I don't recall the amp hours it drains, but it's enough to where it'll trickle all night and just completely drain the system. So it may not be the best solution for me, or at least my system. But with a incinerator like the S-bar heater, that's the common one you find in vans, people absolutely go bonkers for those because they do work well and easy to install, not large. They don't take up a ton of room, so a lot of pluses there. Thanks for checking out my thoughts and how I operate in the rain. There's more to come with that. I've done multiple days in the rain surfing, you know, drying out the wetsuit and stuff. It really can be a challenge, but it does boil down to just moisture management and airing it out when you do get the chance. So we do have a window in the weather. We're gonna take advantage of that. Me and Coop are gonna go for a walk. If you like this video, please subscribe, share it, and like it, and leave me some feedback. Would love to hear questions and what you want to know about van life. I can create the content. Like I said, if you can think it, I have done it. Thanks.